Anyway, Only Human. I gotta hurry up. I got 2 more episodes. Only Human. This is basically the mental health episode, which I think needed to be addressed. Okay, I'm going to actually talk about this. I think the black mental health needed to be addressed because there are a lot of black people who struggle with mental health issues, and especially at schools. Not saying that, because I feel like when it comes down to black people going to PWIs, I feel like people who go to HBCUs are like, what did you expect was going to happen? But at the same time, I feel like going to a black school is good, especially for the things that people want to look at. But, and I'm not knocking people who went to HBCUs at all, because my husband graduated from an HBCU and he loved his HBCU, and a lot of people love the HBCUs, but at the same time, a lot of black people love going to PWIs. And there are a lot of things at PWIs that you can't necessarily get at HBCU. Like I said, not again to knock HBCU. But in the South, especially in the South, when it comes down to going to HBCU, depending on if you go to a big black school, a lot of the HBCUs don't have the same budget or opportunities that a PWI gets. So a lot of black people go to PWIs to look for these opportunities. But at the same time, while trying to find these opportunities, you are going to run into people who don't like you because of your skin color, which is just like how it is in the real world. So a PWI looks more like, that's what made me decide to go to a PWI as well, because I did go to an all-black high school, and I felt like that was my version of HBCU. So I wanted to experience people of different races and different backgrounds and different cultures. And, you know, the civil rights movement didn't happen for me not to go to a PWI. So I shouldn't have to feel certain things going to a PWI. Ruby Bridges didn't break the color barrier for me not to go. Not to say that there's nothing wrong. Again, there is nothing wrong with going to a HBCU. I just want to make that clear. Just in case I have people in my comments talking crazy. I just want to make that clear. But at the same time, going to a PWI and being black is a totally different experience that I don't think that most black people who speak on black people who go to PWIs understand. And the mental health thing was real because you're trying to compete, you're trying to, you know, get good grades at school, you're trying to better yourself, and then some people really struggle. And at the end of the day, college is not for everybody. Not saying that you should not pursue a higher education, because I do think that you should get education in something. You need to have a license, a certification in something. I know I'm kind of off topic with Grownish, but it just is what it is. And a lot of people in this episode were talking about the struggles that they face while going to school, and how they had to go to counselors that weren't there for them and couldn't relate to them. And so eventually Aaron went back to the dean and talked to the dean about getting more black counselors, which I think is needed. I do think that PWIs do need diverse counselors, because I feel like a person should be comfortable with who they're talking to. And basically he told him he didn't have the budget. So Aaron basically wanted to do something about it. I'm sitting here editing the second half of my Grownish review for episodes, I believe 19, 20, and 21. And I was sitting here editing, and I was rewatching my part when I was talking about the HBCUs and the PWIs, and I just think I should elaborate more on what exactly it is I'm saying. I'm coming from the perspective of a black student at a PWI, seeing as though that the show Grownish is filmed at a PWI and they are black students attending a PWI. And I just want to elaborate that I am not saying that children and students who attend HBCUs do not go through anything, because they absolutely do. They absolutely have experiences that black students at PWI do not go through. But I'm merely speaking from a perspective of a black student at a PWI. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, again, I just want to say again that I am not downplaying HBCUs or anything that black students go through. I'm just simply speaking from the perspective of a black student at a PWI. And I just thought that I say that because I asked my husband as well if there were counselors, if he remembers any counselors being at his school since he did attend a HBCU. And he said that his counselors, were there, and that he did have some white counselors at his school, but his majority of the counselors at his school were black. And that depending upon your major, your counselor may have been depending on your major, your counselor sometimes was the person who you took classes from in your department. And this is also speaking from the perspective after Aaron went to Dean Telfie and asked for more black therapists on campus. And I never went to a therapist at my PWI, but assuming that it is a PWI, that there may be some black counselors, but not all PWIs have that privilege. And I'm speaking from also a student who attended a PWI in the South. I'm not speaking from because they go to school. Cal U is, of course, in California. But I know I'm rambling, but I just wanted to, shed some clarity on what it is exactly I'm saying from this mental health episode. Also, I definitely understood exactly what it was that the students were speaking about when they were having their little meeting in Hawkins. I didn't myself experience some things. I definitely related to not Diggy, his name is Doug on the episode, oh my god, but I definitely related to Doug. I didn't have any experiences that I personally experienced, but I know for a fact that there are some black students at PWIs who did struggle with things, and then when they went to go talk to others, they couldn't really help them because they couldn't relate. So I just want to say that. So back to the video. I think they covered the mental health segment was a good segment to bring up because it got people to think about what people actually go through in school. And some people actually go through so much at school that they can't handle it. And it has been cases where people actually have taken their lives at school because of all the things that they go through and the pressure that they go through. Zoe realizes that she has to declare a major, and they have this big thing called the fun run where when you declare your major, you run. She could not declare a particular concentration in her major because she did not have the GPA. So she decided to go before the board and to create her own concentration in fashion called the sociology in fashion, which is studying how fashion affected history and what roles that it played in different social movements. And she does a good job on her presentation. Her friends were all there to support her. And in the fun run, this is when Sky falls and hurts her knee, and this takes her out of running for the NCAA. Mind Playing Tricks on Me was basically the mental health event that Aaron threw, which was a beautiful event. He had Joey Bad A there to check out the event. He had art pieces there. And so at this event, basically, Zoe is there, everybody's there. Anna's there to support the cause, but she still feels the type of way about Aaron. And I'm just gonna get comfortable. She's there to support the cause, and Nomi's there with her. She's supporting her. It kind of reminds you of how they were at the freshman formal. Luca is with Zoe, and then the twins are together with Doug. Doug eventually calls Junior to be with Sky because he feels like that Jazz is just, worried about her sister. And he cares for her, and he doesn't want her to be worried about her sister, so he does that, which is nice. Zoe is being pushy about Luca getting this job with Joey because Luca loves Joey's work, and he wants to, work for him at the pop-up shop and everything like that. And so Aaron's running around. He's nervous. He's shaking in his boots because he got to make this speech. And so I think he did have a conversation with Zoe. I don't quite remember what his conversation with Zoe was. But then he ended up having a conversation with Anna. Anna basically tells him that, you got this down pat. You know what you're doing. The event is nice. you know, why you're doing the event. So just go up there and speak from your heart and everything will be fine. So he makes his speech. They kind of had a little connection, had a bonding moment because she, you know, helped him get out his feelings a little bit. And so Zoe's still being pushy. So Zoe goes up to Joey and says something, and then she shows him she shows him her digital portfolio about her style and clothes. And so he offers her a job, but then she decides not to take it because she was like, my boyfriend wanted this job or whatever. So Luca, so basically Zoe's going back and forth in her mind. She talks to her friends about it really quickly, and they was just like, girl, that's your dream job, why would you turn it down? Luca should be happy for you. I mean, he didn't offer it to him, so he was never in the running. So Zoe had this whole indirect conversation with Luca about taking this job, and she says that Luca agreed. So then she goes back to Joey. She says, Joey, I want to take the job. I was dumb. I want to take the opportunity. And she takes the job. He offers her a styling position for his pop-up shop. And so in the next episode, mind you, Zoe had this vivid dream before. And so basically the last episode is playing off that vivid dream that she had. And so the last episode is called Dreams and Nightmares. The episode begins with Zoe telling Luca about the truth about the dream job. Luca doesn't take the news well. They get into a very big argument. He said, basically, you crossed my back, bro. You trifling, like you only look out for yourself. You knew I wanted this job, but yet you still pursued it. And Zoe was like, nah, fam, it wasn't anything like that. I didn't pursue it. He saw my bracelet. He liked it. He hired me. That was it. And so then he storms out, and then they don't speak for about a week again because they petty. And so the girls go to the pop-up shop. The pop-up shop is amazing. Zoe's doing her thing, but she really misses Luca, and she wants Luca to show up and support her. So eventually Luca does show up. Aaron is there. He's being supportive of Zoe. And so they're all looking at the merch from the line. And so then Luca has this conversation about Zoe. And Luca did downplay the whole situation with her because Zoe was definitely talented when it came down to styling. I mean, designing wasn't her strong suit, but she did style everybody for the fashion show and everything like that. And so Zoe's very talented when it comes to putting pieces together. And Luca knows this, but yet because he was still kind of in his feelings, he kind of gave her a double-edged comment. It was like a compliment and insult at the same time. And Zoe just didn't take it. She did not take anything he had to say well, which was rightfully so because he was tripping. Like, this was her moment, and he kind of like slashed her tires. Like, he just kind of like ungassed all the gas she had because he was in his feelings about not getting a job. And like she said, she was very supportive of him, especially if you remember coming back down to the styling when Michelle Obama came. Like, she helped him style his whole thing and helped him get noticed by her. And so it was just rude. So Aaron tried to like diffuse the situation between them two, but of course, because Aaron and Luca are always at odds, Luca was like, mind your business, bro. This is my girl. We'll handle it. So Zoe takes him outside, and she was just like, I don't appreciate nothing you did. What you did was foul. What you said was foul. You very unsupportive. And I just can't do this no more. And he was like, what does that mean? She was just like, it's a wrap, fam. We done. And she walked off. And then Luca standing looking stupid. All in all, in the whole party, now, Naomi kept saying that her internship was calling. But I believe that was a lie. I believe that was a school board calling her. And she kept saying it was her internship. But then at the end of the episode, when Zoe's getting ready to go to London, she tells the girls that she's going to London. She got an opportunity to work at the flagship store in London for the pop-up shop. And so she tells them everything. And so they're talking and they're celebrating because sophomore year is over and everybody's about to go home. And Jazz is about to run in the finals without Sky and everything. So Luca doesn't know that Zoe took the job in London. So Zoe contacted Aaron to take her to the airport so she can hop on a private jet with the rest of the team to go to London. So before she leaves, the school board calls Nomi's phone again and tells Nomi that she's under investigation for some misconduct between her and the professor. And when they said that, I swear a bell went off in my head, and I was like, this probably is not the first time that somebody had allegations. Who told the school board that the professor, I want to know that in season 3. Who told the school board that the professor was being trifling? I need to know, because she was being very trifling. But at the end of the day, Aaron's taking Zoe to the airport. They're talking, and Zoe's just looking at Aaron, and I don't know why. Zoe. I don't know why Zoe did this. Like, Zoe legit. I'm gonna have to make this video 2 parts. Zoe legit kissed Aaron before she got on that plane, and I'm just like, sis, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Seriously. Because that makes absolutely no sense. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? You just got a relationship with Luca. So if you kiss Aaron, does that invalidate all your feelings you ever had for Luca? Because you told Luca that y'all told each other that y'all was in love with each other, and clearly you still have feelings for this man. You ignore him and you are mad at him. Why would you do that? Doug told Luca that she went to the airport. So Luca then called the Uber to the airport, and it was seconds later he missed Zoe. And Aaron sitting there thinking, like, what just happened? And then that's how they stopped the episode. So, y'all, I'm going to have to cut this down. This video was real long, so you might get actually 3 videos out of the episodes 16 to 20. No, 2 episodes. 2 videos. Can I talk? 2 videos out of episodes 16 through 20 through 21. So I'm gonna have to cut this in half. Please like this video, share this video, rate, comment, and subscribe. Like this video, share this video, rate, comment, and subscribe. Leave your comments down below. Officially, what do you think is gonna happen in season 3? Leave me your thoughts. Follow me at Curly K Glam on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll be back with more videos. Deuces.